Erik Erikson was born in 1902 and lived until 1994. And he was a stage theorist who took Freud's controversial psychosexual theory and modified it into an 8-stage psychosocial theory of development. During each of Erikson's 8 development stages, 2 conflicting ideas must be resolved in order for a person to become a confident and contributing member of society. Failure to master these tasks often leads to feelings of possible inadequacy or things of that sort. Erikson's 8 stages of psychosocial development include trust and mistrust, autonomy versus shame, initiative versus guilt, industry versus inferiority, identity versus role confusion, intimacy versus isolation, and generativity versus stagnation, as well as integrity versus despair. Erikson also expanded upon Freud's 8 stages by discussing different implications of cultural development and how certain cultures may go through these different stages at different times. One can be before the other, one can be 3 stages later, depending on the different cultural needs as well as survival needs among this culture or within this culture. And the different stages include trust and mistrust, and this is from birth to about a year to year and a half of age. Infants learn that the adults in their life can be trusted. And this occurs when adults meet a child's basic needs for survival. Following is autonomy versus shame. This occurs around the age of 1 year old to about 3 years old. And it's when these little humans begin to explore their world and they learn that they can complete different tasks and have the ability to control their actions and act on their environment. And then there is initiative versus guilt. And within this one, it's children reach the age of that preschool stage where they're 3 to 6 years old and they're capable of initiating activities and asserting control of their world. And this all occurs mainly through play and other social interactions. And according to Erikson, preschool children must tackle and resolve the task of initiative and guilt. And they achieve goals while interacting with other individuals. So these children kind of develop a sense of self and a sense of purpose and a sense of self confidence during this stage. And it's unfortunate that during this particular stage as well, if it's unattainable to have those things under their belt, it's almost a sense of due to over controlling parents and developing this feeling of guilt. And it's during industry and inferiority that during the elementary school age and stages of 6 to 12 for age, children often kind of find themselves battling between industry and inferiority. Children begin to compare who they are to the people around them, mainly peers their age, could be in the classroom, could be on the playground. All these instances are those people who they try to figure out if they measure up to the same as their peers. They will develop a sense of pride and success in their different sports that they play or schoolwork that they're involved in, different family dynamics or life, as well as social activities. These negative experiences can kind of develop that inferiority complex. And then there's identity and role confusion. In the adolescent stage of these individuals, ages between 12 to 18, they face the task of identity versus role confusion. And it is the main purpose of this stage to develop a sense of self. Adolescents struggle with questions like, who am I and what do I want to do with my life? It's often when these students or young children go through this stage that it is a lot of push and pull trying to figure out who they are. This can often lead to role confusion, and they kind of struggle to figure out where they're headed. Intimacy and isolation occur around adulthood, all throughout the 20s through early 40s. And it's this concern of intimacy um, in like the sense of self during adolescence and trying to figure out how to share your own life with another person. And it's during this whole stage trying to figure that out successfully. And if this was not developed very well during the identity stage, then there will be a strong sense of isolation. Following is generativity and stagnation. And it's when individuals reach their 40s that they enter the time known as adulthood, or even specifically middle adulthood, which extends to the 60s. And it's just kind of figuring out your life's work and what you've contributed to society or others around you, loved ones, in mentoring and raising children and being a part of your community. And it is often prepping and contributing to the next generation. If there is any lack within this, there will be a sense of stagnation and not finding this meaningful purpose in the life that you have lived thus far. And finally, there's integrity and despair. And in this stage, it is from the mid 60s to end of life. And it is deciding and reflecting on your past life and finding either a sense of satisfaction or a sense of possible failure. And if it is a sense of satisfaction, you find yourself, hence the word integrity, feeling a sense of integrity looking back at your life. But if there was anything that you find yourself saying, oh, I should have done this or I could have done that, you're kind of feeling that sense of despair. And it is in this that Erik Erikson has come up with this whole 8-stage theory that covers an entire individual's life. So that is all about Erik Erikson. Thank you.